Don't you hate when you have to change an opening tag, you have to hunt down a closing tag to match it? Never again. All you need to do is come to the VS Code extension market and install Auto Rename Tag. And now, any opening tag that you change will automatically have the closing tag match it. So if I change this H1 to H2, look at the end, H2 is matched. Or if I come to line 32, change main to div, then line 39 matches it.
Hey Java developers, are you using Maven? Have you seen that the Maven extension is part of the Java extension package within Visual Studio Code? Let's just give it a try. So now we can see here Maven with all the lifecycle possibilities we are used to. So I can very handy here inside this overview install, just verify or even deploy my Java app. I can also have a nice look at the dependencies and the plugins my Java app is using. Happy coding, have fun using the Maven extension, part of the extension package for Java developers within Visual Studio Code.
If you're like me and you don't like having typos in your code, download and install this extension called Code Spell Checker. What's great is that it works on multiple types of files, but in this case I have an HTML file here, and on line 11 I have a typo with this word here that if I click on it, the light bulb will show up and I'll choose the correct word, which is exciting. On line 15, there's another typo in the class name. I will choose the correct spelling here, which is supposed to be social. Now, if I want my class name to be ignored by the spell checker, I'll just put it in double quotes. On line 35, I have another typo that I'll go ahead and fix. This is supposed to be survive. And you'll notice that even if I use double quotes on line 30, because it's within a paragraph tag, it will still spell check it if I needed to. Last but not least, if you need to, you can customize this extension to the behavior of your liking.
Gitgraph is my extension of the week. Start out on any Git project. Once you've done that, you can manage your origin and upstream repositories with ease. You can also review your commits. You can start a review, and then once you have that, you can actually go through file by file and make sure that you can complete your review easily. You can also merge, and merging is easy with a visual graph. So once you have your branch you want to merge, you can just click on that and go into merge into current branch. Yes, I want to merge. And look at that, a visual representation of your new branch and the merge changes.
If you're a developer that works with a bunch of different languages, you've got to try CodeRunner because it makes setting your environment up so easy. Like I have a simple app here that's in Python. I can drop some Python code, and just to execute it, just go right to the arrow here and run it. Rise and shine in Python. Right next to it, I have something in JavaScript. Drop some JavaScript code here and hit that same triangle. Boom. JavaScript execution done without any issues. And then with Java, drop some Java code here, execute it, and boom, rise and shine in Java. And there's so much more languages you can try. So go ahead and give it a shot. CodeRunner.
This week's extension of the week is a fan favorite, the Prettier extension. It's a code formatter that, well, makes your code prettier, like this poorly formatted code that I pasted. So let's see how it works. After installing the extension, you'll need to set Prettier as your default formatter. I wanted this to be my formatter for JavaScript specifically, so I filtered the settings to JavaScript and set Prettier as my default formatter. And Prettier will also respect your editor format on save and on paste settings. So if I enable the format on paste setting, now when I paste the code into my file, it automatically formats it.
This week's VS Code extension of the week is called Better Comments. Let's check it out, see what it does. All right, so the extension you're looking for is Better Comments. It has over 4 million downloads, so quite popular. So let's see what it does here. So let's add a JS comment here to this method, and we'll let Copilot write this, GitHub Copilot. So yeah, get to-dos, yep, get all to-dos. So what Better Comments does is it allows you to style comments. We could make this like an informational. If we put a question mark here, it turns blue. If we wanted to make it sort of add emphasis here, this will make it turn green. We can even add something, some comment that's like, and then if we put an exclamation mark, it'll turn red. And you can add your own settings here. So in the settings file, you can add these things called tags. So let's add a new tag for pound, which should allow us to put things in salmon. And let's check that out. This should be salmon. All right. That's Better Comments.
Sometimes the best extensions are the simplest, and that's why Template String Converter is the extension of the week. In JavaScript, template strings are really helpful because they let you embed an expression within a string. However, they are denoted with backticks instead of quotes, which can mess up your typing flow. But with the Template String Converter extension, you can start typing your template string as a regular string with quotes. Then, as soon as you type the $sign and open curly brace, the quotes automatically get converted to backticks, and you have your template string.
Did you know that you can test APIs directly from VS Code? Thunder Client is a full-featured API development environment for VS Code. You can test all of your API endpoints without ever leaving the editor. And while you can copy the results to your clipboard, what I love the most is that you can also copy them directly into a new file and even generate the code needed to make this exact API call in a variety of languages and libraries. Thunder Client is free and open source.
Looking for a way to spice up your VS Code? Then install the Fluent Icons extension. In your settings, change your product icon theme to Fluent Icons. It changes icons all throughout the editor to simplified shapes with rounded corners. Look at the sidebar now. How sleek is that?
I once said that CodeRunner was my favorite Visual Studio Code extension. It's not anymore. Now it's GitLens. There's a lot of cool features GitLens brings to the table, but one of my favorites is this interactive rebase editor that makes it simple to configure a rebase session. There's also this Git command palette that lets you access a bunch of Git commands as well as fast access to commits, stashes, and status. But check out this page of features, which there are a lot of, but most importantly, install GitLens extension on VS Code and give it a go. So CodeRunner, it's not you, it's not even me, it's GitLens, but we can still be friends.
I want to show you a pretty cool extension that somebody on Twitter reached out to me about. Check it out. The name of the extension is Inline Fold, and I'll show you what it does here. The Tailwind CSS framework is really nice, but it results in a lot of really verbose classes. And so what this person did was they created an extension where it hides that stuff. So if we go ahead and enable this, and then go back to the index file, you'll see here that the classes, see, they get little dots. And then when you actually put your cursor on the line, it goes ahead and expands it for you. It's very cool. So if you're working with Tailwind CSS, check out Inline Fold.
This week's extension of the week is Live Preview. Let's check it out. Don't you get tired every time you want to preview an HTML file that you're working on, you have to bring in another browser? Well, no longer do you need to do that with Live Preview. Once installed, just right-click on the page you want to see, select Show Preview, and there you go. And if you want to modify it on the fly, you can do that without any issue, just like that.
Install the Gradle extension and create a new Java project. Select Gradle under the project options. Next, select Groovy for your type of file and give your project a name. Open your project and select the Gradle option on the sidebar. You'll see a list of tasks that you can run. Run your app with the application task and watch it go.
If you're ever working with multiple instances of Visual Studio Code, sometimes it gets confusing which environment is for what. Just download and install the Peacock extension, select Settings, and under Workspace, specify what color you want your environment to have, such as green, and now it's easier to distinguish your environments.
If you're a developer and not using the VS Code Pets extension, what are you doing? This extension lets you have a pet code right along with you. My dog loves VS Code, and now I can throw a ball with him in my editor. There's so many pets you can add. A cat, a rubber duck, Clippy, even a snake for you Python devs. This is the cutest thing ever.
This week's VS Code extension of the week is called React Tree. Let's check it out and see what it does. So React Tree is trending this week in the marketplace, which is how I found it. And you can see that it looks like it lets you visualize your React apps. So I've got it installed and I have a React app open. So let's go ahead and collapse this. And it says to click here, activate the tree. And then once you just select the file, that's the entry point. So for me, that's app.js. All right, there's my app. Okay, I see how this works here. These are the different components. I can move them around. All right. What does this do? This eye right here. Oh, these are props. Okay, so these are the props. If I click here, it goes to the file. Very nice. All right, what does this do? Changes the orientation. Very cool. And this just fits it to the view. So if you're working with really large React apps, check out React Tree You might love it.
C# in VS Code? Let's check it out. In extensions, search for C# Dev Kit. When you install it, you can go through the walkthrough to get set up so you can start using the awesome integrated features like IntelliCode, package management, test discovery, and yes, you've got a solution explorer now in VS Code. Try it out and let us know what you think.
If you work with a lot of issues, the GitHub pull request and issues extension is kind of priceless because you can just click on issues and it automatically creates a branch for you based on that issue. And if you want, you can customize this to have a specific branch title. So you can customize the branch title, and then when you go to create that new branch, you'll get the new branch title, that format that you specified. But the real story here is that yes, you can in fact use emoji in branch names on GitHub.
Ever get frustrated reading CSV files? The Rainbow CSV extension highlights each column in a different color so you can easily read through the data. You can also hover to see column info, and you get a fixed header line when sticky scroll is enabled.